Guys, welcome back. Today I'm gonna help you guys keep your legs open in the flare. So there's two sides where it might go wrong. Usually it's the back side, but I'll explain both sides just in case. So hopefully you got a single flare or a couple of flares down. But you know, like what a lot of, well, I have students obviously that can do flare, and sometimes they have this trouble. I have a couple of students where it actually happens. You know, I've seen many people that actually have sort of the same problem, and that's that their legs close or are not very open in the flare, right? Now, usually the tip is very simple, guys. Start stretching, lazy ass. But I'm also lazy with this, you know. Back in the day, I was sort of focused on not just doing a flare, but a very powerful and clean flare. Basically, then I stretched a lot, guys. You sort of, like, you don't need to even stretch at all if you want to do flare. Basically, I highly suggest you do, but you don't actually need to. But if you want a good flare that's actually useful, that you can actually go to the 90 in the air flare and all those moves, right? You can use that move, you need to, guys. That's just common sense. But for this today's tutorial, we're not going to focus so much on that. I'm just going to help you guys fix your flare and make it open. But hey, do your stretch work, you know. Don't be lazy. Also do, it's called L-sits and those kind of, you know, exercises. Maybe some simple planche exercises. All that crap helps. Push-ups, sit-ups, you know the drill, right? Obviously, you don't need to do all that stuff. But yet again, if you want a good flare, it's almost mandatory, guys. Now, let me quickly tell you guys what happens when your flare is closed at the front. This has a reason, and it's very simple. You actually kind of learned the beginning of the flare a little bit wrong. So I'll demonstrate a flare with closed legs in the front, and this happens. See how fast I'm going? What happened just now? Well, I'm kicking my flare in, and that's exactly how you're supposed to do it. But as soon as this leg starts to kick up, I immediately swing this leg very fast to the back. Basically what happens is I get a scissor in my leg. Well, if you scissor your legs, basically, obviously your legs are not wide, so that's not the idea. So a very simple trick to this, except of course stretching and working at your flare, is focus on keeping your leg on that side and waiting till you fully open at the front. And you should actually forget the flare for a second till you can do actually this. So it's like you enter the flare, and as this hand touches, you're open-legged. Forget the rest of the flare. If you cannot do that, you're not really, you know, maybe you can already flare, but you should focus on this, because if your legs are closed in the front, how the hell are you going to get them open in the back, right? So that's the first part. Usually this is not an issue, but I have students that actually do something like that. Another issue I often see, and to be fair, I also do this slightly. The right leg or the front leg, the first leg can make this circle motion or actually kick to the front, and it's not that bad, right? That's the left leg for me. But the right leg is kicking straight towards your shoulder to the front. But that's not the idea, because this way you also get a scissor in your body. So I'm here, and this leg kicks straight to my shoulder, right? Basically, you will get a scissor regardless. The idea is that you kick behind your ear, or at least to the side of your body when you kick up to your shoulder, guys. So, just quickly telling you guys all this, because usually this is not the issue. But hey, maybe you are one of those persons that makes this mistake in the front, guys. So, how can we keep our legs open if something like this happens? I'll just demonstrate quickly a flare and show you guys what usually happens when people flare like this. So they do the flare. See, in the back of the flare, I'm almost completely closed. So what happened, right? Well, you're doing the flare, you kick this leg up and it drops straight back down, basically. This is because you need to kick up, right? But you need to hold it up. You need to hold it towards the roof, or we're going to use a trick that even works, and that's actually a lot easier. So if you want to go to the air flare in the 90 and trap, you basically have to figure out how to kick this leg completely up and holding it there, right? And, you know, basically all I have to tell you is, hey, hold your leg up in the sky. But sadly, that's easier said than done, right? So there's ways to work on this, right? Obviously, get a very good and powerful flare is already a must if you want to do those combos. But basically, just saying hold your leg up is very tricky for people and hard to understand and do in the motion. But there's another trick that we can simply use, guys. this is my right leg, and as I'm doing the flare, exactly the same as I normally do. This leg kicks near my shoulder. I'm gonna stick it to the side of my flare, to the side of my body, that way. So not to the back, not to the front, stick it. Now, sticking and kicking is two different things. As I kick, my leg will go, but it will shoot back down. As I kick up, my leg will go, but it will drop back down. But I'm gonna stick it, stick, and I'm gonna even follow it with my body, right? Now what will happen? Now imagine my hands or my legs. I'm doing the flare right now, this leg kicks, and I'm gonna stick it there. This leg will pass, and I will still be sticking till my legs are completely wide. See that? And that will allow you to completely stay wide without having to really learn that, you know, basically flare 90 technique, which is a lot harder and doesn't really work if you're not on that level yet, guys. So, to demonstrate this, I will demonstrate just two flares like this. And it's not about a powerful flare, it's not about a good flare, it's about keeping your leg there and giving yourself the room so this leg can pass and you're fully opening the back. And then you simply rinse and repeat this process, guys. So, take a look. I can just, you know, relax while I do this flare. Open, keep it there. Open, keep it there. Right? As you can see, this leg stayed on that direction. And then the other one passes, right? So, yeah, guys, that's actually the main trick. That's all you need to focus on. And if you have, like, you should film yourself, right? And if you see that in the front you're not completely open, sometimes people have this trouble. Check out if you don't kick to the front too much, right? Because that's sort of not the idea. You kick this one circular, the other one preferably kicks behind. I don't do it myself, but you need to kick behind your ear. So like this, whoop, then it stays more open, and during the kick you can actually lift. And if your leg close in the back, focus just on sticking that leg out during those flares, guys. Yeah, and if you do all that, your legs will stay nice and open, basically. And all you focus on is that leg, keep it open till you reach the next one. Probably you would even be able to shoot two other moves using this technique, because you will stay slightly in the planche. So finally, one more tip about this is that the closer your hip is towards your arms, the harder it is to keep everything open and nice. So try to, especially on the side that for most people, well, if they're right-handed like me, it's on that side. Try to swing far away. The further away your hip is, push your hip far away from your body, the easier it is to keep it open. The main practice for you now is just reaching there, and will, trust me, you basically work. In the back of the flare you will be open, and that will make the front of the flare easy too, guys. And that's actually it, so I'll demonstrate one more time. So, flare, reach, flare, reach, flare, reach. See, and I will stay nice and open with these legs basically in front of the back. So then if you want a really good flare, like I don't practice this myself, focus a lot on stretching, ab, yada yada. But basically if you got the flare and you have the problem with closing, this will fix your issue. See you next time.